Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Your Light and Darkness. If it's your first time or if you're returning, I want to let you know that I thank you so much for tuning in and listening and coming back. If you're new here, I want you to feel welcome and I want you to relax and just sit back and listen. Listen as I talk with you and share some things from my heart. And hopefully you resonate with some things or you learn some things. Um, but just, yeah, relax and listen. And I love to hear any questions or comments or whatever you have after this recording is done. So my name is Ashley. For those of you that have never been on my page before, my name is Ashley, and I'm the creator of this channel, Your Light and Darkness, and it's on YouTube. I have a blog, yourlightanddarkness.com, and I also have my podcast, which is on Spotify. And I typically just do audio recordings. Thought about going live sometimes. Maybe I'll do that in the future. But I like audio. This is like a full circle moment for me, but I'll go into that maybe later if I remember or in another recording. So the purpose of today's or this evening's recording is to talk about why I created Your Light and Darkness. And I've had this YouTube channel for maybe a year now. It's either been a year or two. And when I first started it, I set it up to focus on healing, specifically with shadow work. And that's still my primary focus, but I also talk about healing the mother wound and also share any messages I receive, things that are laid upon my heart to share. So there's a variety of things. And then as we go on, I have some other ways that I'm going to present the topic of healing because it's so important and it's so near and dear to my heart. I I have always been a person that wants others to experience the best in life. And I've always seen myself or thought of myself and others as if I can do it, I know you can. And that has never come from a place of arrogance or haughtiness or anything like that, or even in a negative comparison light. It truly comes from a place of if I can do it, knowing and living my life and experiences and going through different things and having to heal a whole lot all the way from when I was a little bitty child, then I know that you can. Through life, I have often had a lot of faith and belief in people, in the best in people, even after going through a lot of lower experiences, which in turn helped me because it's the very fuel and the very experiences that help me to help you. And it can be hard to see our lower moments in a positive light, especially when you're fresh out of them. And especially if you hold on to the very, very hard points within, the lower experiences that we have, which is so easy for us to do. I know I have. And, I'm sure there's many others like me. But at this point in my life, I am truly grateful for my experiences, the best ones and the worst ones, because they truly have helped me in so many ways to heal, to see myself in a different way, to learn my strength, to be extra compassionate, and to help you or be a guide to you. Because whenever you're doing any type of healing work, it's not the person that is guiding you or teaching you or inspiring you that's healing you. You are healing you. You are the one that begins to go through the process of revealing, recognizing what's broken, what happened, how did you get to where you are, how has your experience, how have your experiences shaped your life up until this point, and so many other things. But it's you that does the work. The individual does the work. Others are facilitators. They can guide you, they can show you the way, but it's up to you to do the actual work. And it's not easy, but it's not always hard. Some areas you overcome and heal and walk in your newness quickly, and some it takes a while. It's just life, just like life. But I, I started this channel because truly I want to see you at your best. And I don't care if I can't see you, I've never spoken to you, you're on the other side of the world. It doesn't matter. I look and I see all that is going on now, and it's so unnecessary. As I have learned on my own personal spiritual journey, truly walking my own path, when we focus on ourselves and we begin to heal and go within and really get honest and real with ourselves about what's going on and how did we get here and how do you change it, then as you change you, others begin to change. And sometimes people begin to change, they don't even notice that they're changing. I've seen it so many times. But we are affected by each other's energy. Whether you know or believe it is true. And so, if each one of us here on this beautiful planet would focus on becoming a better version of ourselves, not being in competition with anyone else, focusing on ourselves, just imagine how much things would improve. I am a person that wants the best for you as much as I want the best for myself. And I know deep inside, I know that it's possible for you to live the life that you deserve and that's calling you to live. One of my first teachers, she taught me the saying. I hadn't heard it before her, but I know it is a popular and very frequently used saying. What you desire desires you. And I know that there are many of you out there that have these big dreams, but the state of the world has you feeling hopeless and down and feeling like, how's this ever going to happen for me? Some of you may be struggling in different areas and you've lost sight of the dream that you had, the desire. And then some of you are afraid to hope, to even dream. I tell you this from a place of having come from the lowest of lows in my life. I'm talking having low self esteem, being in troubled relationships, financial struggle, dealing with childhood trauma, family relationships, just some of everything. Some of everything. Trying to figure out how to truly and honestly rebuild my life from the bottom up. I tell you, there were days that I didn't know, how it was possible, how I could ever get out of that situation. I didn't know. But it happened. I have to remind myself these days about those days, those hard days, because my life now is nothing like it was. And I know, as bad as it might be for some of you right now, that things can change and they will change. And I say what I'm about to say with all love and respect. But the change has to come from you first. Meaning, you have to make up your mind and know that you deserve more. You deserve the best, that you can and will live out your desires. You have to know it. It took me a long time to understand that. You have to know it and you have to walk in it. And you have to release worry. I know a lot about worry. And when you're worrying, it can wreak havoc on your mind and then on the external, your external life. So the change begins within. Anything that you want to experience externally, you have to first experience it internally. And there's a number of ways to do this, but healing is the way, it's like the gateway, the door to living and having an experience beyond anything you could have dreamt of. Because healing heals and helps you recognize how you came to be where you are now. We are taught that everything is someone else's fault, and it is not true. Why people play a role in our lives, and some are good and some are very hurtful, very hurtful. But we, if we really get real, you can look back and see, align your thought with different events, whether the events are good or they're bad, and you will see a pattern of your thinking. And it is how we think that dictates how we perceive. And the way that healing and thinking are related is because when you heal from past traumas, your way of thinking changes. Your perception and your perspective change. You begin to heal your perspective by the way you see and think things, and your perception by the way that you feel. Your senses begin to change because your thinking begins to change. And I could go into more detail about that, but I'll try to do a recording on that one a bit later. But healing is at the root of everything, because healing heals the heart space. And when you begin to heal the heart, the mind follows, the thoughts follow. Now, sometimes this might be going a little bit too far, but stick with me. If you have questions, please ask me in the comments, because I'd be happy to answer. Sometimes in the beginning of healing, you have to do an exchange of you realizing what needs to be healed and you're working on that. But while you're going through it, you begin to change how you speak and how you think by seeing yourself in whatever way you want to be. And you can do that in the form of affirmations. You can write it, you can sing it, speak it out loud. It doesn't matter. But don't, what you want to stop is repeating the old story that is created and embedded in the mind and the neural pathways. But you have the ability to heal and change that. It takes, it can take some time, it takes dedication, but it can happen. It will happen when you are determined to have a different experience. So I've gotten way off of topic, but I want you to know that this space, your light and darkness, was created and is here to help you heal in whatever way you need to heal. You don't have to tell me your personal story, but I want you to use this space as a guide of how to get from where you are to the next step. And then once you do that, keep repeating it. I've done a couple of other things online. I've done different types of jobs through my life. But this work is different because it is a work of my heart, through my heart. It is a work of love because I said it in the beginning, but I know that you can have the best experience you desire. I know that you have. I know that you can, excuse me. I know that you can. But I need you to know that. And I need you to know that, yes, some of us don't start out with the best story, but we have the power to turn those stories around and amaze ourselves and all that are witnessing the change. You know, a lot of times people will see you transforming right before their very eyes, especially if they're with you and around you long enough. People real close to you, they will see the transformation. Transformation is not just always physical. Again, like I said before, it starts in the mind before you ever see it on the outside. And people pick up when you have shifted energetically, whether they ever say it or not. I know that you're ready for a new experience. I know you're tired of that mess going on out there in the news and all this just mess. You have the power to change. And I'm going to keep reminding you of that and guide you, teach you things I've learned along my way, and let you know, hey, you know, I am a person that believes that you can believe what you want to believe. So I say that if you're a person that is religious, you still can heal. You heal. You have things to heal like anyone else. This doesn't have to be a dividing type of thing when when you and I or you and someone else don't see eye to eye on certain ways of belief. But what we can agree on, I think, is that carrying around years, sometimes decades of hurt, pain, anger, bitterness, worry, sadness, and a whole lot of other stuff is not good. And it only festers and continues to grow until you address it. And so, no matter what your belief is, your religion, your faith, or whatever, you can heal. It's okay. And you will feel better for it. So, on that note, I'm going to end here. Oh, I did say if I remembered, I was going to share how doing these audios is a full circle moment. Yeah, it's because when I was in college, I went to school for I majored in communications with a minor in English. And I used to volunteer at the school radio station. It was a jazz station. And I always wanted to be on the radio. You know, some people, they want to be on the TV and be these big actors or whatever. No, I always wanted to be on the radio. And for years, I thought about just getting up here and doing recording my voice, just talking, you know, just speaking what's on my heart, letting things flow. But I would talk myself out of it. Oh, people aren't going to listen. I would come up with every type of excuse you can think of to talk myself out of doing it. And, I would be like, oh, well, no, they want you on camera. And so I would get on camera sometimes, and then I'd be like, oh, I don't feel like getting on camera. And it would just be this whole thing. And so the more I saw myself and realized why I was doing that, and the more I healed and got really clear in knowing what I'm here to do and working on that little by little, even when, no one knew I was, or, you know, when I didn't know what direction I wanted to go or to stay in, little by little, I told myself, okay, just do it again. Just do it again. And so I finally accepted within myself that it's okay to create how I want to create. And each one of us has to do that for ourselves. Yeah, YouTube and people on video might be great, and I love it. I watch various content creators myself, but there's also space for the writer or the speaker, the messenger, the one that just wants to express their message in a different way or maybe a mix of ways. And so that's just a little background about how this is a full circle moment. Because, yeah, I always wanted to be on the radio, just doing, a show, talking. Growing up, I can remember me and my family coming back from my grandma's house, and my parents, they used to listen to a lady on the radio named Delilah, and she had a show that was dedicated to love and couples and relationships. They would call in and they would just express their love to each other. And it was always so beautiful. At the time, I didn't really understand how beautiful that was. But looking back now in today's world and seeing, hearing, and remembering how those couples would honor each other on the radio. Now, if they were really like that at home, I don't know. But it was beautiful to hear, for me as a young girl, to hear how the couples would honor each other and express their love to each other. And so now I'm expressing my love to you and wanting you to love yourself so much that whenever you hear this, or whenever you hear any one of my recordings, my audios, or whatever, that you make the decision to love you so much, to dedicate yourself to your own healing and your own elevation and your own best, most beautiful experience in this life. So beautiful, so vast that you cannot even imagine it. What you do imagine is just the beginning. And that you dedicate yourself to working on yourself so that you can truly live as you deserve. On that note, I'm going to end the recording here. This has been an absolute honor. Thank you to all that have listened through. Like I said, I'd love to hear your comments, questions. Say hello. Let me know where you're from. Um, if you're listening to this later, um, let me know. If you'd like to know more about me, I put a little bit about myself on my website and about what I do. You can visit me at www.yourlightindarkness.com. And like I said, I also on Spotify. I wrote a few things on Medium through the years. I still have that up. I don't know how long I'm going to keep that page up, but for now it's still up if you would like to follow that. Um, Check it out. The link to Spotify is in my description. And then if you're on Spotify listening to this, you can find the link to my YouTube in the description. Also, sometimes when I'm doing teaching type videos, I will be putting up a slide or a clip that shows the main points so that it helps you if you want to take notes. And I'm thinking about doing a couple other things with the note part, but I haven't completely fleshed it out yet. But when I do, you'll see it, you know about it. So if you're a person that wants to have a guide, make sure you go over to YouTube if you're listening to this on Spotify and check out the video there so you can take some notes. And if you want to work with me, I do offer some various types of ways for you to work with me. All that you can find on my website. And I have another channel that I'm developing that I'll be talking about in upcoming audios as well. So I'm going to end this here. This has been an honor. Thank you so much. And I will speak with you in the next one. Bye bye.